It's the one only Despotic, bringing you guys another gameplay commentary. This is Elder Scrolls Online, and it's happened. I'm somewhat bored of my stamina DK, and I've gotten bored of a stamina DK a while back, and that's why I kind of went away from this class, and then I went to another class, and I got bored from that. Because initially, Stam DK was my main. That's the class I found. I found comfortable enough to make my first build video on YouTube, and it's pretty much the same build that I have now. The only difference is in my front bar I have Fossilized instead of Evil Hunter. On my back bar I have Wings instead of Poison Injection, and that's mainly because of back then there were so many players running Magicka Sorc. So the best way to contend with them, especially with their frags, and back then is when a lot of players used dual wield Sorc, so they had a lot of damage, and so that's why that was kind of a counter to the Magicka Sorc back then. The current Magicka Sorc kind of pales in comparison to the Magicka Sorc in the past, so that's why the build was that way, and I was pretty much doing the same thing. The only difference is I had different setup. I had endurance. I had a two-handed bow, Hunting's Rage, and endurance, and a 3-piece Ashen Grip for that additional health, and that was pretty much it. And I was an Imperial, and it's pretty much the same build. I had the same videos. Matter of fact, my videos back then were a lot better. Because the players weren't as sophisticated as they are now. A bad player would get punished for being bad, and now a bad player, that doesn't necessarily happen. You might be a terrible player, or you might be a mediocre player. You might be a player that's new to the game, and you can easily play a class that can carry you. And look, that isn't to knock those players. If you're a new player, or you're a casual player and you don't play this game as often as I do, or as often as some other people do, because I work a 9 to 5 and I play this game a lot, but I don't play it as much as I could possibly play the game, and that isn't to knock people who do play this game often, but my point is, back then it was a lot easier to like 1vx. It was a lot easier to be solo, so I can see why it's a bit more. Like, this build is a bit more popular because back then DK's tankiness didn't match up with the damage that was going out. People hit you so hard that being tanky was not the thing. And if you did and if you were tanky, you had to be tanky all the way. You couldn't be DPS. Back then, you couldn't be I know I'm going off on a tangent. Back then, you couldn't be like a DPS healer. Now you can do that. Back then, the two classes that kind of reigned supreme were Stamina Nightblade and Magicka Sorc. And of course, the underrated Magicka Templar was always there. So, but my thing is, this video is about what class you think I should play next. Someone suggested I play Magicka Stamina Templar. That was my first class. I used to play two-handed bow, and it's just not my thing. I played it so much, and it just doesn't play to my playstyle whatsoever. Some classes do. I really want to play Stamina Sorc, because I think I can really push that class, and that class can really push my playstyle, which is just being aggressive, and it allows me to get in and out of trouble. That's something you can't do with a DK. Well, you can do it. You can't do it as much or as effectively You can't do it as effectively as you do it on a Stamina Sorc, because you have Crit Surge, you have Bolt Escape, you have these things that really, and you have Hurricane that really lend to being able to get in and out of fights and not take so much damage, even though DKs are a bit more tankier than not a bit more, but more tankier than a Stam Sorc. So that's what I really want to play. I don't want to play I played Magica Sork a good 3 months. I was uploading videos on that as well. I briefly played the Magica DK, which it's just not my playstyle because I play solo. If I played in a group, absolutely I would play Magica DK. If I was dueling, I would definitely play it. I think Magica DK is the best dueling class in this game. The close second is probably Magica Templar. They just have the ability to reset. And you can't stop that with a class that has the ability to reset. And you might be wondering, how does a Magica DK have the ability to, how does that class, reset? You have Battle Roar, you have, if you use an ultimate, you get health back, and you have Snit, you have CCs, you have a hard and a soft one, you have Talons, and you have Fossilized. So that allows you to do a lot of things. And of course, Magica Templars have heals. The end all be all to all resets in this game. Look, I'm not, I don't have an issue with it, man. I think some players, a majority of those players are being carried. And the moment they make a drastic nerf to Magica Templars, they'll realize the same thing happened to Magica Sorks. It's inevitable. It doesn't happen. It won't happen. It might not happen now, but that's the same thing Magica Sorcerers were thinking. Hey, they won't do anything to my shields, my bread and butter. And look what happened. They did that to your bread and butter. So Templars, if you main a Templar and that's something you've been playing since day one, be on the lookout for that severe nerf, because currently, in the past, your class was under the radar. No one really bothered to have issues with the class. The only thing they had issues with was Radiant, and they continue to try to address it and not really make any like tangible changes to it. They'll tweak it here and there, but the moment it gets to the point where people are just fed up, they'll nerf your class, and they'll nerf it into the ground. So what I would do now is I would just take some of the suggestions that people are making and advocate for those suggestions, because if you don't, what will ultimately happen is they will nerf Magic Templars into the ground, and you'll be wondering why this happened, and it's because you don't want to compromise. If you make a subtle change, I know this video is about what class I should play. If you make a subtle change to a Magic Templar, they're up in arms. It's like the snipers on Call of Duty. You make a subtle change to the sniper rifle, and it's the world is coming to an end. And accept the fact that it's inevitable and it will happen. When it happens, you've had your day. And look, I don't have an issue with Magica Templars. I know how to deal with them. The only warning I would say to people who have issues fighting them, just they give you so many tells that now I don't have an issue fighting them. My only issue is just when you're 1vxing and they're in the back hitting you with Radiant and you can't gap close, because if you do, you're pretty much dead by the time you come near to them, because the opponents are pretty much beating on you. So that's what it is. But we kind of shifted into something else. This clip right here is pretty funny. After I beat that Nightblade, I came here and I was helping out this dual wheel Nightblade. Nightblades are so diversified, man. Like, they can do so many things that other classes can't. You want to play a sword and board Nightblade? You can. You want to play a dual wheel Nightblade? You can. You want to play a two-hand and bow Nightblade? You can, because they have a class gap closer. They have a class execute, and they have a class best DPS in the game, I think. Spammable DPS. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Magica Stamina Sork. That's the class I want to play. I've not played that class. I've probably played it the most 10 or 15 minutes. Aside from that, I've only done Maelstrom Arena and solo dungeons with it. I'm really looking forward to playing the Stamina Sork. Just let me know what you guys think. Do you think I should play a Stamina Sork? I mean, ultimately the decision lies with me. It doesn't necessarily. That doesn't mean your opinions don't have some kind of weight, but don't say Magic Templar. And if you do, it's fine, man. It's whatever. Anyway, this is the one only Despotic Deuces. Oh, this clip is another funny clip. So this guy right here, this Sword and Board DK. I don't know if it's a DK. So he plays different classes, or she, but I've been zerged down by this guy, or by this guy in a small group or with other players. And so when I see this player attempting to revive someone, I'm not going to let that happen. And he's got Malabeth. He's running Sword and Board with two-handers. So anyway, this is the one only Despotic Deuces. Yeah, do let me know what class you think I should play. I'm really leaning towards Stamina Sork. Anyway, it's the one only Despotic Deuces.